What is wrong with doctors investing on their own?
Yeah, so that's like DIY investing, do it yourself. I have a lot of clients that are doctors and dentists. And what I'm finding is that it's very popular now that they invest on their own.
Right.
ETFs, index funds, Vanguard,
Like a Wealthsimple.
Quest Trade, Wealthsimple, absolutely. So when we ask, what is wrong with them doing that? So the quick answer is nothing.
Yeah.
It's okay to do anything on your own. You can change your own oil if you want. You can write up your own will if you want. But what I often find is that they're making mistakes when they change their own oil.
Right.
They're making mistakes if they try to do their own will, but they're smart people.
Right.
And when they try to invest on their own, I think one of the big problems is more or less they're leaving opportunities on the table. They're leaving money on the table.
Right.
Are they going to retire on time? Yes. Are they going to have enough money? Yes. But if they saw what they could be doing, I think they would be shocked.
Right.
And so that's, I think, one problem. And so the second problem, I think, is where they're actually getting their advice from. So if they're doing it themselves, where are they getting their advice from? And from what I've heard is a lot of it is from the internet.
Yes.
It's from, someone does a blog or there's a Facebook group with other physicians or other dentists in there, and they're telling each other what they're doing. And they're highlighting a problem such as fees. Oh, you're paying way too much in fees. So they says, you're right, we could do this on their own. And now there's a Vanguard ETF out there that's getting great returns. And I'm only paying 0.5% MERs as opposed to 2.5%. And they think that, they could just do this completely on their own. But if we think of, again, we've mentioned it before, the wealthiest investors on the planet, like the Tiger 21. The Tiger 21, do they do ETFs, saving on fees with the majority of their money? And the quick answer is no.
Right, yeah.
They don't. So if we look at sort of dissecting the Tiger 21, and I also compare it to the Canada Pension Plan, well, why doesn't the Canada Pension Plan just do Vanguard ETFs?
Right.
Why don't they just save on the fees? Why don't they do this?
Yeah.
And the quick answer is they get much, much, much better returns with a lot less volatility. If you do an ETF in the S&P 500, you are still victim to the volatility of the S&P 500, which is typically about 16% standard deviation.
Right.
The Tiger 21, which are the richest investors in the world, and the Canada Pension Plan do not want a 16% volatility.
Right.
And they both have long-term time horizons. So if you look at the dissection, right away, what the doctors should be doing is if they're comfortable investing on their own, they should be investing in the top right-hand corner on their own in the public stock market.
Yeah.
But they should not be putting all of their eggs in one basket. If they want to, not leave so much money on the table, they really should be in the bottom right-hand corner, be doing private equities. And in the top left-hand corner, they should be doing real estate.
Right.
And this is in your neighborhood, like investment real estate. And in the bottom left corner, they should understand the best type of fixed income. Because most of these guys are incorporated, and these guys are really, really, really don't understand the tax implication, of what they're doing when they're investing. So I think that's one of the reasons why they're going to get a decent rate of return, but at the same time, it's going to be nothing of what they could. A lot of them are incorporated, and the majority of their money is inside of a corporation.
Yeah.
Now, they don't understand the tax implication. They don't fully understand the tax implication of when that money needs to come out.
Yeah. That's a big thing. I mean, all my stuff is pretty much in corporation too, probably similar setup to a lot of physicians. And it's changing, right? Like the capital gains portion has changed within the corporation. And so you need to kind of know what it costs you to take the money out and, all of that, those factors.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that like when they're getting advice from friends, they're getting advice from people on on podcasts that they
Yeah.
never even met.
Yeah.
I kind of find that that's the equivalent of them getting advice from someone who it's like getting medical advice off of the internet.
Which I've tried, by the way. Hey guys, getting better.
Yeah, and how's that bum leg of yours working out?
Sorry.
Yeah, and so I kind of find that investing shouldn't be a hobby,
Right.
and that's almost how they're treating it. And why are they treating it like a hobby? Because they feel that they're saving on fees, but in actuality, use the top right-hand corner as the hobby, and then get professional help in the top left and in the bottom right-hand corner.
Right.
I think that's the number one reason why they don't realize that with what they're doing, they will likely hit a point where they're very comfortable and they can help themselves to a wonderful retirement and, help to give it a helping hand to their children.
Right.
But at their income tax bracket and in their level of wealth, they're leaving a lot on the table. They have the opportunity with, let's say, a 30-year career and their income level. They have the opportunity to build a massive amount of wealth, set up generations, set up charities, set up, in incredible institutions. Like I have clients who are not doctors, who have okay income, and they're worth more than over $20 million, $30 million.
Right.
The majority of that money was not made in the public stock market. It was actually made in the real estate market.
Yeah.
And they don't understand how this formula of the 4 quadrants can be used in order to fuel much, much, much larger returns.
Interesting, yeah. And like you say, a lot of people are listening kind of to their friends or what they see online, or they get, stock tips, so-and-so did this, and it's hard. People want the fast returns too, so sometimes people just want to invest in one asset class because they feel, so-and-so did it and they had good experience. But I think, this is a good,
I think there's a herd mentality.
Yeah, there's a herd mentality.
They don't want to get away from the herd. And when the herd is all doing ETFs, investing with, Vanguard or with Wealthsimple, whatever it happens to be, they say, well, the herd is going in that direction, so I must go in that direction. But if we stop and say, what are the wealthiest people on the planet doing?
Right.
Why am I going with the herd when why don't I just do something a little bit different? And of course, you as well as I have built a lot of our wealth in real estate.
Yeah.
And for us, our herd is different.
Right.
We take a look and our numbers are much, much, much different as well. And so I feel that trying to do it yourself, the problem is you will be getting some very, very, very biased advice from your peer group.
Right.
And I think that's dangerous. In and of itself is dangerous because the tax laws are changing and they're directly affecting that group in particular. How to contact us. We work primarily with individuals and companies across Canada based on a fee-for-service model. If you are interested in learning more about working with us, we look forward to connecting with you. Please visit our website at www.latitude-west.ca.